Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Podfathers, the best parenting podcast in the universe, tolerated by Barstool Sports. It's your pal Clem here. It's my guy Pop across the river in Dirty Jersey. This week, Daddy Boy Chaps is out, so it's going to be me and the big man doing a little 2020, 2021 vibe in here, like the last time Chapsy ditched us. We're also on StreamYard right now. Again, we're producing our own shows, and I'll tell you, if anything about the last episode sucked, it's definitely my fault. So we're going to try to make this easier with StreamYard, and it's also going to lead to a better YouTube experience. So for any of you olds out there that like to dabble on YouTube while you're working, maybe the youngs, the people who listen to this without kids, I love, because it's not just us, in the bunker together. It's other people just enjoying the content of old men yelling at clouds. You guys go on YouTube, you're going to have a nice, better, fresher experience here. So me and the big man with a brand new mic, by the way. We got the mic installed live. I forgot to record it. It took you this is like the biggest it's the best testimonial you could have for the Snowball Blue mic is that Large was able to install it in 2 minutes flat without fucking up once.
You conveniently forgot to record.
Oops.
You got every ounce of me calling my wife for help last week with this thing, which I still have, whatever the hell that is.
The Yeti.
The Yeti. So this one is better so far, and we'll see. It's called the Snowball Ice, and I installed it with nary a problem. But quick update from the McCarthy household: the matriarch, the person, the glue, the hub, from which all the spokes emanate from.
The real MVP, as KD would say.
Mama Bear just took a spill in the driveway. She was out there pushing the Italian broom, as I call it. It's when you use the hose instead of a broom.
You would have a thing called the Italian broom locked and loaded. I just say, you bastard.
She slipped on the pavement, so this is our second try trying to tape this in. He'd come in, so she got a little mouse above the eye and a nick, a little bit of a nick. Not Nikki the Good either. So thoughts and prayers to her. I'll be attending to her shortly, but obviously she's doing all the men's work while I'm in here wearing a gold Gucci link that's iced out and talking to Clem about what's going on.
Talking about how she just got injured in the driveway.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Or as they say, making content in this world. We are just robbing money from these people doing this shit for money. It's absolutely crazy. But good. It's always good to take a fall and know that you can get up from the fall. As you get older, I've realized that it is the truth.
We had a ledge in the old house. Allegedly, we had a ledge that ran along the driveway, which went downhill. So when you stepped onto the ledge, you were a foot off the ground, and by the time you got to where the front door would start, you were about 4 feet off the ground. Nothing huge, right? You could jump off and on it. I was doing something in the snow and sort of cleaning off the ledge, and I was walking on it, and it was bluestone like everybody else's, and I slipped, and I fell off the ledge straight down onto the ground, somewhere between like 2 to 4 feet off the ground, and I landed, boom, right on my back, and like right away, I wasn't in pain, or anything like that, but I didn't move right away, because you have to take like one of those, like when they say, don't move them, right? Like when there's a head or neck injury, it's sort of like you have to take a mental checklist on, is everything okay? Is everything functioning? And it's just exactly what Annie did. I guess she went down, hit her head and shoulder, however she had fallen down. So she'd come in here and said, I need you, just let me know what's swollen and what's bleeding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is normally my move.
Easy, take it easy. Yeah. That's the other thing. If you're watching on the YouTube, I don't know how to edit video very well, so this is going to be basically large uncut, where I can't edit out all the problematic shit he says. Italian broom is as good as you're going to get.
Italian broom is on the calm side. Wait till I tell you about the Vietnamese pitchfork. So that's that. So thoughts and prayers to the saint. I'll be taking care of her afterwards. But the reason that she's pushing the Italian broom down the driveway, Clem, is why? Because we had 24 12-year-old girls over here for what is essentially Bridget's last home birthday party. Like she's aged out of it. Like at one point we had like 8 girls dancing and singing to one song, while 12 girls were all just circled on their phones, probably texting one another. While 8, and another 4 girls were shooting hoops. while the fire was raging, while the burgers were coming out, while the photo booth was, it's after a while they become like they need bar mitzvahs and sweet 16s. And it used to be like bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and sweet 16s came along at just the right time. Bat mitzvahs are a little bit younger. I think they're either 12 or 13. So that's when they step up. The Jewish girls would step up and probably not have any more home type stuff. But I think between now and a sweet 16, Bridget's birthdays outside of the family are probably going to resemble me taking 6 of her friends to Benihana or 9 to Benihana, or you know what I mean, and go get their nails done or do something like that, because the traditional birthday parties, same thing with Santa. Santa's gone. No more Santa in my house. This will be the, you know what I mean? So all that kind of stuff is rolling off. My son's leaving for college. This is all. I don't know if Annie slipped.
Your wife's
purposely. Yeah,
she jumped off the roof. Well, Annie, it's gonna be all right. You still have these beautiful.
It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better without them. She's like, I'm stuck with you. So all this stuff is coming at us quick, Clem. It's coming at the McCarthy family pretty goddamn quick.
So no more birthday parties. And this is someone who's in it right now, obviously, 7.5-year-old, and we're driving her to all these birthday parties. Now that's the other thing, is we had 2 years where we never really got into the mood, like the groove of it all, because of the COVID shit. But now it's like we're back to reality. It is, sports are 100% on. Birthday parties are coming on. I think people are even making up for lost time, and they're like, "Hey, come over to the house. We'll have a play date," and everyone's just kind of getting back into the water. You've obviously lived that, and now you're ending it. I was gonna say, part of me is like, is part of you sad about that? But 22 girls doing a bunch of nonsense in the driveway, I feel like you probably aren't all too sad, even though Annie is clearly, dealing with some stuff. You're jumping off a roost.
I had taken one of her friends, Sarah, Bridget and Sarah, and I took her to Party City with us, and we loaded up. We got like 500. By the way, Party City is a vacuum for money.
I love Party City. I just love it, and it is a vacuum, though. It is.
Whoa.
A vacuum.
It's a and so we went there, and I was like, what do you girls want to do? And obviously they wanted not the tiki bar thing, but they wanted like pink with flamingos and flowers. And so they have all these different things, and the yard isn't that big anymore, but you got to fill it up with stuff. And like doing it with the girls was a lot of fun. And then Bridge had another girl, different girl, who had stayed over the night before the party because her family was traveling. So the only way that this young lady could come to the party was if she stayed over the night before. No big deal. And so she helped us prepare, and me and Bridget were going around. Annie was moving furniture, obviously, with Finn.
the two like workers of the McCarthy household were taking care of the business.
Mick was at his prom house, and Bridget and myself and her friend were doing the streamers, the balloons. Honest to Christ, and I enjoyed it. Like they're so enjoyable. Like to be around, and I don't know, like the girl they wrapped up the wooden bear, and the ones. What do you think? Oh, Slay Queen! Like it's so crazy. It's almost like just being around two really cool gay midgets.
And that's why you're always able to get the modern music questions on the dozen, Jeff says, because you have kids. And I found that amazing. I was like, oh, I never even thought about that. Yeah. So you're getting all the lingos with it as well, obviously.
But food fight at the end. So that's my whole thing. We had it out in the yard, and it's in the 70s up here, so it wasn't too bad. Kind of
planned food fight. Is this planned?
No. So instead of doing a cake outdoors, you do cupcakes. There's a place in town does cupcakes, tie-dye, all that kind of stuff. Pretty cool. So you bring out a tray of cupcakes. I gave all the girls those, the confetti cannons. Yeah. And terrible idea, by the way. Another terrible idea.
Annie had to probably work her ass off to clean all that stuff up.
That rake is white hot. Annie's so excited. And then afterwards, like one girl just simply like, does this smell funny? I'm like, uh-oh. Another girl said, what do you mean? And booped her on the nose. Then one went in an ear. A couple got it. And then the next thing you know, I was like, head for Z Hills. I picked up the rest of the cupcakes so they couldn't have any more ammo. And I had 20 some odd girls, asking to come into the house, you know, and so I let some in who weren't too bad, and the rest of them I just turned on the hose, right? And so we hosed them. I hosed down these girls. Parents were okay with it, you know. Hey, why'd you hose down my daughter? It's probably a question you don't want to be asked.
Yeah.
And so it was good. But and at the end of the day, Bridget, and this is the last thing I'm going to mention about this party. I started with 2 boys, so I went through this whole thing with boys, and now I'm going through it with girls. You're the opposite. You're starting with a girl, and then by the time you get to AJ, every time I've ever been to a birthday party for one of Mick or Finn's friends, gift certificate from GameStop or a ball of some type, some sort of ball. That's it. Yep. I don't think I've ever given a kid anything else except for a gift certificate. Now GameStop isn't the thing anymore because the boys have been out of it for a couple of years. Let's say in earnest 5 years or something like that.
Sure.
Bridget, one girl gave her a heart-shaped rock that embossed inside of it was a picture of her and Bridget. Like it's it's actually a rock frame that you hang up. Like very, very, you know, gift certificates like Lululemon and to wear her favorite, you know, facial. They know so much about each other. One girl gave her like a generic gift certificate, like an Amazon gift card rather, but gave it to her tied to a half a gallon of apple juice because she knows Bridget's crazy about apple juice. Like everything is so fucking thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was nice. I'm you know, it's gone, but it was nice.
Girls are the fucking best, man. It really does. It just lets you know that. I mean, if you I had a sister, but if you grow up without sisters, or I think even when you're young, you're always just fighting your siblings or whatever. Girls are the fucking best. The only thing the female like population does wrong is a lot of them fall in love with idiots like us, and we completely ruin their lives. So just shout out to those girls, man. They're so sweet. Even like Sienna does a lot of sweet stuff, but you see it with her friends. They send her home with different things, and it's just also thoughtful. Where you said just knucklehead boys, GameStop gift card. Thanks for the cakes. Give me my goodie bag. I'm fucking out of here.
So he gets 12 basketballs at one party. You know what I mean? Because it's Pee-wee hoops.
Well, and if you are hosting birthday parties and not at the mall like you know me, but you're doing it at your house, you want to make sure the house looks great. You want to make sure the yard looks great. That's right. It's summertime. It's technically summertime. Don't give me June 21st. Once Tommy Cheese Balls goes on the blog, we pass Memorial Day weekend. That means it's summertime, and you got to get your yard to look good because it is your personal oasis, and it's basically your party spot if you're going to have people over the house, and you're going to have the barbecues, whatever it may be. And Sunday, what do? They have a custom lawn care that is effective and super easy. All you do is you go to getsunday.com, you put in your address, and their lawn analysis tool does the rest. Like I said, it takes like the Google map picture of your yard, kind of knows where the grass is. They use soil and climate data based on your layout of where you live, your yard. You even send them some stuff in a little envelope. We take some dirt and some other stuff, send it along to them. There's some super grass nerd that tells you what you need to do, what you should look out for, and they send you all the products directly to your house. And it's not a bunch of chemical nonsense. It's good stuff with good products with good stuff like seaweed, iron, molasses. So if say there's a food fight straight out of Hook and you have to clean it up, you don't have to worry about the kids, you know, other people's kids stepping on your yard and getting a bunch of bad stuff in their bodies. And Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129, and you get 20% off when you visit getsunday.com/podfather, singular podfather. This week will be chaps at checkout. That's getsunday.com/podfather at checkout. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/podfather, singular. My boy Andy, a member of the Pod fam, hit me up, said I'm gonna jump in and check out the Sunday. So we're gonna have a little listener feedback once he gets in and gets it all going. It's Podfather approved because even an idiot like me could apply, and my grass looks great because of it. Large man, while we're on the subject of the kids, how was orientation / we know the ride home was an absolute nightmare. We know that. Anyone that followed on Twitter, you were calling Delta the C word, getting very agitated, even called him Big Cat at one point, I believe, for some skull fucking. But how was the actual, politely being told where hundreds of thousands of your dollars will be going over the next 4 years?
You guys were hitting me. I was sitting down in the financial aid part of orientation, And then just so people who don't know, so Podfathers YouTube page was being repurposed for like Barstool Finance, unbeknownst to me. And then these guys all made it to be as it was very known to me, and they're busting my chops, and as we bust everyone's chops in the email, it's welcome, it's perfect. It's how people should. That's how Podfathers should be. We should bust balls in a group text all the time. But man, I was hearing about all this money that's due at all this time. And oh man, I was hearing, like residents of Alabama get a huge break. This is the first year I think that Alabama has gone more outside of the state than inside the state. It's about 50-50. Like if you go to like Notre Dame was not half Indiana kids, half outside. It was mainly out. You know what I'm saying? But like, so the timing was terrible. So I wrote like a real curt email to the person who runs thing, and she fixed it, right? Olivia, she's wonderful. But it was sobering on so many different levels. The money level, the police came in and spoke to the parents while the kids were doing. But by the way, Mick is registered. Mick is registered for his first semester. I've never seen anything like this before. Like I thought you had to. So we went to orientation. He's done. He's registered for his first semester. He's got
June 7th.
I know 16 credits, 17 credits. I know exactly the classes that he's taken. So while he was doing this, meeting with guidance counselors and stuff, they break off the parents. By the way, Alabama's got a lot of money. University of Alabama. I don't know why they need mine. This place is very, very.
Well, I mean, NIL's coming in now. They got to be paying those football players to
maybe it goes out the door.
Those national championships.
We saw a couple of the athletic departments too. Man, they are well they're well staffed and well funded. But yeah, it was very, very emotional for us, without a shadow of a doubt. It was terrifying for Mick, and it's but we all came away from it with a very good feeling. Like Michael knows if he does not want to be at Alabama for 4 years, he does not have to be at Alabama for 4 years. If it's not for him, there's no way for him to know if it's for him, but he's got to be there for a year. That's it. He's got to do a year, figure it out. He wants to be there for 4. I'm not putting any kind of words into his mouth. And so like going through it all, like even picking something within his major, but not being so heavily major weighted that if he decided to change his mind, that he'd be behind the 8 ball with credits, like very adult things that you're doing with a kid who, I still cut his meat if he needs. It was a good experience all the way around. Hot out his balls, but good experience all the way around. I didn't read the emails. I told you I paid up because I didn't set up the flights. And then I set us up to stay in one of the dorms. It's a huge dorm called like Presidential 2. And we get there, they give us our keys. I walk into the dorm room they gave us. It winds up it's a suite. I open up a door. There's an old lady asleep. Apparently the suites are broken up into different bedrooms and we're sharing a suite with 2 other. Then we go into our side of the suite. Not a blanket, not a pillow, not a sheet, not a towel, not a curtain. We had to bring all of that. I said, oh, fuck, bad. That's on me. I'm sorry. Let's go. We got like a couple of suites at the Embassy Suites, down the. So it was, some stops and starts. We, went to a couple of good restaurants down there. Roll Tide, great bookstore, Clem. You talk about how Party City can extract money. Yeah. Alabama bookstore everyone's going to be in that, that whatever it is, Garnet or whatever the hell they do. So we're very, very excited. And we got him back for prom, which is a whole other kettle of fish. I got a lot of life being thrown at me right now, Clem.
I know, I can tell, man. Half 100 is not coming easy with all the other shit you're dealing with the kid.
I should have started earlier, man.
Chapsy hasn't figured out, man. Well, no, he doesn't because he has a big gap between the kids. So he's going to be going through this. He went through it early. He's going to be going through it late too, I guess, right?
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him, actually. He's not even here right now. I would like Cass, our resident poor expert, poor rankings expert, to just remember Large was sharing a suite in a dorm room with an old lady down in Alabama while I was booking a trip to Newport for my wife and I later this month. So just for the poor rank. And Chapsy is going to Maine for his 40th. So if you want to throw that on the list as well, I'm pretty sure Newport, Rhode Island. Nice. And we're in a nice part of Newport. We have nice bed and breakfast. It's a lovely place.
I will tell you, 2 times during the trip, when I called up the embassy suite or courtyard or whatever it is, she's like, sir, all we have left is the presidential suite. I was like, have we met? I was like, please. It's like, and then the same thing, like, all we have is the, not there's first class, it's called like premium seating or something like that. It's not even a first class on whatever we flew home. And they're like, are you willing to pay an extra $139 per ticket? I was like, excuse me, we met. I got to get home for fucking prom. That flights, Clem, it cost me $5,000 to get to from Alabama.
No,
easily. The original flights are on me. That it was over $3,000 to get there. I told you about that. Getting home, I had the Kia Forte rented, ready to drive home from Birmingham.
Rented a Kia too, Cass. Just keep that in the notes.
Rented it. That's what we had. So we had a Kia Forte. I don't even know what the hell that is. So I said, I'm keeping it. I'm going back. Boom. I get a flight out of Birmingham to Atlanta. Once we get to Atlanta, that flight was canceled. I had a Chevy Silverado is all I could find, a fucking pickup truck. I was going to drive a pickup truck from Atlanta back to not even from New Jersey, to LaGuardia, pick up where my car. It was an absolute abomination. It was a C word worthy abomination. I'm talking too much. I apologize.
I think of you and Annie as basically the older version of my cousin Vinny, and Mick is Ralph Macchio. Basically, you guys are going down there. Now, did you guys even I don't remember you ever saying that you visited Alabama to check it out. Did he choose Alabama sight unseen?
Yeah, he chose it sight unseen, and then afterwards, after he made the decision, he went down there for 4 days. There's a kid here from Ridgewood who's a sophomore. So Mick stayed with him. Mick used to play football with him. So Mick stayed with him. And then 2 of Mick's buddies in his class went down with him also, because one of those buddies has a sister who's a junior. So they stayed with her. And they did more partying because they had no intention of going to Alabama. Mick went to a full day of classes with Quinn and stuff like that. So he did more of the actual tour guide type stuff, and he fell in love with it. But this was after he had said that he wanted to go there sight unseen, because he was, we were on the fence about the Coast Guard for a while. So this is a total, diversion for him. And so this was a confirming tick. He had another great time, the first thing and all that. So we're in it. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, yeah. It's like Mick's I saw all I had to see out of Alabama. I watch college football every Saturday, and then I watch the football playoffs every year. I know exactly what I need to get from Alabama. But I guess you paid it one way or the other. The $5,000 flight. Some people would spend $5,000 going to different colleges around the country. Correct. And then he's already fucking registered for classes. You don't have to deal with all that nonsense, orientation, all that shit. So man, they really do know how to get the money in, and just thank you for the money. You're already set. Before you know it, he'll be home with a diploma. Not remember one thing he learned along the way. It's a fucking. I hope to God, please God, if you're listening, make the system change within the next 12 years. I need it more than anything in the world. Please God. Please,
I'll keep you up. I have the alerts on that if the system changes, I don't get any alerts on my phone, as you know. If the system changes with the brick and mortar college thing, my alerts are on. I will pull his ass out. We'll be doing everything on fucking Zoom.
Oh man. So for anybody who, is wondering about what college is like in the year 2022 and getting a kid in and all that, there's your Podfather testimonial right there. I'm sure Chaps, you'll have some stuff coming down the road as well. Man, that is I am not ready for that in the least. Speaking of which, I just had to put this one in the pod, this little video clip in the pod. It was Robbie and I were doing our Stranger Things recap, which go to My Mom's Basement. It's on YouTube only. So if you want to, we do each episode, we break down a little 15-minute quick hitter for each episode. And I just had to include this because it was a Podfathers moment that just happened to happen during a My Mom's Basement episode. We're talking about, no spoilers here, just talking about there's a part of the episode where the characters are using those little newspaper, it's like microfilm or something. I think I call it microfiche.
Microfiche.
And I always and they talk about encyclopedias in Stranger Things as well. Winona Ryder's an Encyclopedia Britannica salesperson, and I was saying how back in the day, at least for me, if you had like, you know, T was you had to do a book report on the Titanic. You had to go to someone's house that had an encyclopedia, get the T encyclopedia, and that was basically like 90% of your report was based on what you read about the Titanic in the book. And then I said I couldn't imagine people who had to like actually use this newspaper microfilm, microfiche, whatever the fuck it is, for their projects. And I caught myself in an absolute just murderous moment. So I'm going to play it on the pod. Hopefully it comes through all right. It's on the YouTube as well. And I'm at the point where I'd be mad about it, but since I only deal with it once, I'm not too. I'm sure like people in their 40s or I'm in my 40s. Hold on. I realized I was in my 40s.
Oh, God. Wow. You just talked about people in their 40s like that. Those are old people, but you're one of them. That's what you guys just witnessed on the podcast. Clem just realized that.
Oh, my God.
People in their 40s. That's you, buddy.
Oh, my God. That's like, I feel like there's like an actual like sword of fire in my soul right now. That I stab
It's
myself.
Like you got Vecna. Like it was like, hey,
Clem! He's like coming for me. Oh, that guttural sound you can hear is a man's soul leaving his body. And I understand I'm saying this to someone who's half 100, and I know you have no sympathy for me, but there is something about the first time you realize you are that 40-something-year-old. It's like when you're 18 to 24 on the survey, and then it's 25 to 29, and you just keep going right on the thing. And then it's like old, just 35 plus. We don't care about what your viewing habits are or what products you like in this survey, because you're an old person that does not have the disposable income we need for this. That guttural reaction, man, that it fucking hurts, Large. And I'm sure you've been there. You were there at some point in your life, you know, in the 40s as well. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, I put on mute so you could hear the audio better. I'm there every fucking day. I go over to my parents' house, and it's like you still see the encyclopedias. And I remember just it was impossible to cheat on term papers because there was only 5 sources. So teachers would, you know, be able to recognize whenever you just sort of rip right from it, you know, whereas now these kids have just about everything. They just got to go to page 2 on Google.
They just so, hey, Alexa, when did the Titanic sink? And then the Titanic sunk, blah, blah, blah. They don't have to go on a computer anymore. It's crazy.
My kids are crazy about Stranger Things. So Bridget in particular, she says it's a lot darker and a lot, you know, it's the scariest thing that she watches. And it's sort of like my X-Files. They're dying for me to start to watch it. I just don't know if I can get through all those seasons before this one is ancient history. But so I walked in on what might be kind of the finale. I don't know, and no spoilers or anything. But there's a song playing in the background, and it was Running Up That Hill, which is a Kate Bush song. And so my daughter was sitting there, and she's like kind of humming. I was like, "Oh my God, Bridge, you know this song?" She's like, "Oh yeah, it's strange." Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "You know how old this song is?" She's like, "No." I was like, "This song's got to be like 25 years old." And Running Up That Hill is from like 1985. Running Up That Hill is like almost 40 years old. And I was listening to it in college, like Kate Bush. I love Kate Bush. I mean, I have a bunch of her, you know, albums and stuff like that, CDs. Used to play her on my radio show and stuff like that. But every now and again, when I see that Running Up That Hill is 37 years old, 37, Clem. That's you. That's I mean, honestly, it sets me back, catches me on my heels and sets me back every fucking time.
It fucks me up, dude. 20 years ago will always be 1996 in my mind, and that's not 20 years ago is 2002. Like that's really fucked. That's fucking disgusting. It makes me want to throw up. But shout out Kate Bush, and yeah, obviously we'll even smatter throw in a little content corner here. Stranger Things, no spoilers. I love the first 3 seasons. Honestly, the way this first part is wrapped up, it might be the best season of all. It's a little crazy to say because I did love the first 3 so much. Absolute A++ must watch recommendation, 5 balls out of 5 balls recommendation for anyone that wants to watch it. July 1st is when part 2 of this season wraps up. I think they spent $30 million an episode, so you're getting good quality shit. The newer episodes are like an hour and a half. Just watch season 1. For guys like you, large guys like me, so much great nostalgia. There's like Eggos is a big part of like the early seasons. They had SpaghettiOs, like radio, like just a lot of stuff, like nostalgic pangs. And then you have the music, obviously, too, which Kate Bush, number 1 on iTunes last week because of that. It's kind of remember when Don't Stop Believin' by Journey just lived at number 1 after The Sopranos brought it back. So it's an absolutely fantastic show. And it's tough. I guess older kids like your kids could watch it. My kids, it is this season especially is horrifying. It's terrifying. You forget it's a horror show because there's so many funny, just like warm moments with the nostalgia as well. But it's a fucking horror show at its core. And shout out to Bridget. I know Bridget had it in her to be watching Stranger Things by herself.
She tore through it in like through the whole season in like 3 days. She's like, Dad, this one's an hour and a half. Like, I'm like, Bridge, it was almost like her marathon, but she really does. She really liked it. She really enjoyed it. And Mick, I think, has gone through it too. He's already seen all of them. Finn, I don't think is into it as much. So are you saying I don't have to watch all the seasons before this one? No,
you definitely do. I just would really recommend watching them because season 1 is awesome from the start. They were awesome. It's one of those shows that isn't like, all right, you got to get through the first few episodes, first season. No, this shit was good from basically day 1. And the way that they write or just shoot them, like once the song plays for the end credits, you're like, all right, we're watching another one. And I hate this streaming world we live in where everything gets dropped at once because there's no conversation. I used to love Sunday nights. Game of Thrones would wrap and everyone would get their memes and their jokes off. Mm-hmm. And I like everyone being together. That's why Robbie and I kind of did these quick hitters. It's like, no one can really do that. And especially just shit. It's basically just shit we would have tweeted if it was on at the same time. But we finished episode 7 on Sunday, my wife and I. Connor just finished episode 4 on Monday night. And it's like everyone's going at their own pace. Right. And then there's people like Bridget who just sat in their house because it's like 6 episodes are probably about 12 hours long. Like they are some fucking epics. They are long ass episodes. Everyone's kind of going at their own pace. And there's people who finished it immediately. But it is, and I think the way that everything's looking going into part 2, I think it's going to be, it made me more excited to even rewatch them. So I would give it a 5 out of 5 on the ball scale. And I think, and again, older people like me and you who were either young during the 80s or, going to high school in the 80s like you, I think everyone's going to have a good time watching it. So I truly recommend it. It is a scary show though.
Went to high school in 89. Technically, it was the 90s.
I was trying to zing you, and then I said, "Oh shit!"
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I was college in 89, 89 to 93. Oh no, I was in high school 85 to 89. That's the meat of the 80s. What am I talking about?
I just did to you what I did to myself during the Stranger Things there. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to get out of age shaming right now. This is not the podcast for age shaming. And that fucking scoundrel Chaps who likes to really bust our balls. Good thing he's not here. He's basically like someone from the upside down that really will get into us. So we're going to jump into some stories now. All right. The first story we had to deal with was this video that went viral from the quote unquote happiest place on earth, unless you're large, who fucking went there and absolutely despised it. And I'm talking about the Mickey Mouse employee that fucking stopped this proposal. This is in Disneyland Paris. And I'm going to play it right now on the YouTube. You guys can hear the audio of it on the podcast. And I blogged it on Barstool if you want to actually see the fucking craziness of the video unfold. And we're going to go. The guy with the ears takes the ring, tells the gentleman with his wife, come over here.
Yes, that's great, but over here, she's going to be even better.
All right, Large, you got engaged in the city of, what's Paris? City of Lights, City of Love?
City of Lights.
City of Lights. Obviously, you would not have been a person that proposed at Disney. We'll just say that much. However, what would you have done if some little French guy in Mickey Mouse ears fucking snatched the ring from you like he's Jadeveon Clowney in the Michigan backfield and just told you, come on, take a picture over here, as you know, Annie's been waiting her whole life for this moment. Guys, you know, it's something I don't think we wait for our whole lives, but it is an exciting moment and something you want to make special for your lady there in the City of Lights. What were your thoughts on this time?
How perfect is it that it's Paris? They're so fucking rude. They're so rude. I mean, I know I can't. They are. I mean, try to queue up to get into the Eiffel Tower, then you tell me that I'm being, you know, racist about this one. It's a tough place. By the way, that guy is not very big. The dude he took it from is big.
He could be a Podfather. He's like our size.
I don't know why he let that out, because he got emasculated there. And I just got thrown out of the darts thing in Madison Square Garden with my wife. I'm a 50-year-old father of 3. I got shown the door with
why?
Apparently I was a threatening whatever. It was crazy. So like I make bad decisions, but holy shit, I would have struck this little fucking frog in an instant. I mean, that guy would have been a stain because you're so nervous, and maybe that's why he didn't do it. Mm-hmm. You're so nervous leading up to this. I just talked Chico Tecnico, our boy Andrew Manley, through how he was going to do it in Ireland. Congratulations to Andrew. And
it's official?
Yes, yeah.
Nice.
He did it. Yeah. So
Andrew,
yeah. I think Coley probably had a kid by the time this airs too. Coley's the second kid. I don't know if that came yet. So we got a lot of shit going on, Clem.
Nice.
So your nerves are running. Do you know what I mean? Is she going to say yes? Is the lighting good? Who's got the camera? And then all of a sudden, Pierre comes in, scoops it up, and takes off on you. I would have thought I was being robbed. I would have fucking let this guy out.
I didn't even think about that. The robbery issue. I imagine Paris, there's a few pickpockets that'll be on the streets of Paris, even in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, I've seen Les Mis. And so, like, I think it's one of those things.
Jean Valjean.
Right. Nice, Clem.
Is that right? I was like, I hope that's right. I'm going to get dragged if it's wrong.
I let you go at microfiche, which is microfiche, but it's still, I'm going to give you props on that. I wouldn't have let this see the light of day. Like, I really, maybe his wife let it see the light of day, but I would have trimmed that one up. Do you know what I mean? Because it's viral, obviously, because we're talking about it. And it's unfortunate. I don't think it happens in the United States. I don't think it happens. I think you realize the gravitas of what's about to happen, even if you're an employee, and you let it, because he literally took them 6 feet away. And that was unnecessary. It was egregious. The guy looked like he had no friends, the Disney employee I'm talking about. Like he's one of those like sticklers. But I think in the United States, I'd like to think that we're better than that. And I don't say that too often. So yes, that's it.
Yeah. And yeah, Disney, they do everything in their power to make sure you have a good time. If you drop an ice cream cone, you lose a stuffed animal, they will be there. There'll be 10 janitors because they hire 1 million janitors. Basically, those guys are just people to help you out. If you need a picture taken in front of the castle, there's no one else. There's always someone around to help you out. They're not there to fucking shut down your engagement and steal the ring from you, like you said, thinking you're getting fucking robbed in broad daylight. The fact that happened, the only thing I can think of is maybe they're like, if we release this, the people at Disney will feel so bad. They're already going to throw this guy in the dungeon, in the tunnels underground. You know, the urban legend of the dungeon. They'll throw him underground. They'll never kill him because there's never a dead body on the. No one ever dies on the Disney grounds, right?
Never.
They will take them off the fucking Disney grounds before they pronounce them dead. But, however, if they say, if we go viral enough, maybe we get Disney passes for life. And you know what? The situation sucked, but you can't undo that situation. What happened. That guy's fucked no matter what. He's definitely going to lose his ears. Maybe, figuratively, literally, however you want to take it. And then maybe they get a free ride out of it. But you said it best though, Large. I do think there is a point though, where that woman, if her feet are anything less than 98.6 before that wedding, and she goes back to that day and go, he didn't fight for me with a little 110-pound frog stealing my ring. Is he going to be there for me when, shit hits the fan and we have 3 kids and we're fighting it every night? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pointing towards yourself.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden I get a little handsy at professional darts and like, what's he going to do? I honestly, I think it's one of those things where this doesn't bode well for the relationship. But the angle that you took on getting free shit is some angle to take, but you're 100% right. Disney has got to step up on this. They have to step up and make this right, because it was more than funny. It was kind of pathetic, and it was a little bit shocking, particularly the guys who've gone through it.
It was a tough look. It was a tough look for our guy here. So I'd be interested to see. I have been kind of checking in to see if anything has been announced. I don't hope the guy loses his job by any means.
Mhm.
I hope maybe they'll like repurpose him to not a role where he's dealing with people. And again, I'm sure Disneyland Paris is different than Disneyland Orlando and Anaheim, but that shit shouldn't fly. And they're even, you could hear them saying in the video, they're like, they said, you know, the employee said I could go here. And he's like, no, you'll take the picture here. And you could hear the crowd starting to boo. And once you get the Disney crowd on your side, that's like Gladiator. The crowd on your side, you cannot lose.
I will tell you what, Clem, we spoke about this. How when Jordan Berry, one of our favorites, when she became whatever, the one of the characters, you had to take a personality exam to then become the thing. I think this guy should be demoted, if it's any kind of demotive, to play one of those villain sidekicks.
Yes!
He seems like a fucking weasel, like those two guys, Horace and Jasper, who helped out the girl, whatever, in 101 Dalmatians. Like, you know, the fucking hyenas and Lion King.
Yep.
Like, you know, there's always that, like Iago and Aladdin, the parrot. There's always that weaselly sidekick. LeFou breeding, like all that stuff. I think there's always that, and that's what this guy should be. He should be the miss. What I'm saying?
That's a great call right there. Definitely a little side man. That's not like a villain, a super villain move. That is the henchman role. That is Gaston's fluffer, basically.
LeFou. Right? A lot of the guys there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, it's one of those things where I think that's where that guy should be relegated to being just that you know, Grievous Worm Tongue from like Lord of the Rings. You're like, what are those just fucking icky dudes? So that's where I get him.
A plus job, big man. Next, and we're just gonna stay in the Disney realm because this one's going viral. I saw it right before we went live. It was am I the asshole for not having catering at my wedding? You hear that right off the bat, and what are you gonna say, Large? Are they the asshole?
Yes.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Now, why did they not have catering at their wedding? Well, let me tell you, my friends, it is a fucking preposterous reason. My 28-year-old female and my fiance, who's 30, just got married 2 months ago. And we had our dream wedding. Everything was perfect, and I mean everything. My parents and his parents helped us pay for a great chunk of the wedding, so we'd be debt-free, and we are so eternally grateful for that. The issue arose about a month and a half ago when my aunt started posting on Facebook how disappointed she was that the whole ordeal and a few guests sided with her. Background: my fiance and I are huge Disney fans. Red flag. And we travel to Disney World as much as we can throughout the year. Disney is such an important part, not only to us, but also to our marriage. Now, we know that there's the Disney diehards, right?
Yes.
And they think that, you know, the magic is real to them, damn it. And listen, I love Disney. I got engaged at Disney. I did it at Cinderella's Castle. No one broke it up. I thought it was a lovely time. However, there are different levels to this shit, and we're about to find out the level these two are at. The issue is with our decision to not offer catering services / bar services at our wedding due to routing the money towards having a wedding Minnie and Mickey make appearances at our special day. The cost to have both Minnie and Mickey for a good chunk of time, 30 minutes, was almost exactly what our parents allotted for our catering budget. So we scheduled an appearance during our first dance and our wedding photos, foregoing served food, though there were plenty of facilities at the venue where people could eat. I imagine if they paid for themselves.
Wow.
My parents were still very supportive of us, but everyone else is being passive aggressive about it on Facebook. And then a couple more PSs here. To those asking if the guests were warned, we clearly outlined in the invitations that there was food available at the venue. We didn't exactly spell out that every restaurant's menu, but it was certainly mentioned.
Hold on, here's the next question. I have to read the next fucking sentence. Spell out the restaurant's menu is certainly mentioned. There were also vending machines available throughout.
Oh, at a wedding. I sound like Mad Dog or so. A wedding. We're talking about a wedding. Yeah. And then the second PS, for everyone saying that it's too much for 30 minutes, I want to clarify that it was 2 30-minute sessions because, of course, we're dealing with Mickey and Minnie. $2,700 for the cost for one session to have 2 people in mouse costumes go to your wedding.
Clem, this is very rarely do I answer a resounding yes before and after hearing all the information. This guy's an asshole. Oh, excuse me, this young lady. And believe me, their priorities are different priorities than everybody else, mainly in the world. Because if I'm going to go to a destination wedding, which Disney is, nobody lives at Disney, right? Even if you're in Florida, you're still traveling quite a bit. It's not like you're going to a local VFW. And you go dry on me. I'm dry. I have no booze, and I have to fucking wear mouse ears, and then I have no food. And they say, no, what are you talking about? There's funnel cakes and smoked turkey legs everywhere. And, I would go and have a turkey leg and a funnel cake, sure. But you got to give people something. And to say that you forego that or you've forgotten that, so to say that you passed on that in order to have the two characters there, man, I wish they would have came to us. We could have pulled together $3,000 just to get some pigs in a something passed around. But put out a plea to Stu Leonard. Stu would have took care of you. Something, right, Mr. Wegman, perhaps. This is yes. You're an ass. You are unfortunately, you guys are the asshole.
The asshole. I could think of a couple other private parts that they are as well. That definitely fits in this equation.
Yeah, Clem.
And the thing, the vending machine. That's where I'm starting to feel like, are we being fucking pranked? Are we being got? Whatever the fuck it may be. Again, X-Punk, because that just seems that's absurd. That's we got mad in this podcast when people were saying, like, I get mad about a cash bar. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? But you know what? Everyone has budgets. I can completely understand. You're getting married the rest of your life, getting a house, family, whatever it may be. We get mad when there was people serving buffets at wedding. Remember? We said, what the fuck kind of move is this? Be an adult, have a cocktail hour, have a weighted actual food state. And, there's the buffet sides of people, whatever. To just not even offer either of those so you could have two fucking people in mouse costumes. Holy shit. I mean, rebuked is in. I'm rebuking their unborn children.
Go cash bar. I don't care. Particularly if you guys have some sort of drinking problem in your family or something like that, and you want to just put a little bit of a speed bump in the way. Go whatever. Go a 6-foot hero. I don't care. You have to give somebody the opportunity to have a drink and something in their hand to eat at your wedding. And whether it is a Chateaubriand and it's a fucking, a Melanie Sauterne afterwards, or it's a fucking fountain soda and a slider. You have to give somebody something at your wedding. That is as important as the rings. I think it's as important. Don't fucking buy rings then. Have your Mickey and Minnie get married with fucking ring pops, but feed and water your guests, because you would do it if they were fucking pets. You fucking cheap cunts. These people probably work for Delta. Yeah, they work for Delta. Yeah.
It's good. I'm so happy this show's back. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh God, it just makes me so fucking angry. So the other reason, these are the people that deserve to have their engagement broken up by a Disney employee. I wish their engagement was the one that got shut down by that dickhead with mouse ears, because they deserve to have it happen. And if there's no other reason to have booze at your wedding, it's this video that I had to include. Again, hopefully this is all right for the people that are listening, not watching. But I had to include this video because I just blogged it, and it was an absolute delight of a video. It's a thing that was actually big on TikTok, I guess, like a year ago, and it's the first and last drink at a wedding. So they're interviewing a bunch of different guests at the wedding, and this is them at their first drink, and then this is them by the time they have their last drink.
This is my first drink. I am Trevor the groom, and this is my last drink.
Hi, I'm Holly. This is my first drink.
Oh, sorry.
Well, my name is Holly. This is my last drink of the night.
Hi, my name is Simon, and this is my first drink. It's not really. This is Simon, and this is my last drink.
I'm Neve. This is my first drink. I'm Neve. Cheese bridesmaid, and this is my last drink.
Cheese bridesmaid.
Cheese bridesmaid.
Have you got a cheese bar?
I'm chief bridesmaid.
Cheese.
I'm Lucas. This is my first drink.
Lucas just dancing right now.
I'm Lewis. This is my first drink.
Go.
I'm Lewis. This is my last drink.
Go. Hi, I'm the bride, and this is my first drink.
First drink, didn't you?
I'm the bride.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'm the bride, and this is my last drink.
That's what it's all about. That is a fucking wedding right there.
Who makes stories, right? I mean, it's myopic. It's selfish. It's all this to think that people would rather watch you with 2 stuffed mice than to have a drink and a burger, a sandwich, a shrimp, even one of those stupid things with just cubes of cheese in the heat. Just something to put in your fucking mouth.
A pasta bar in Florida outside,
right?
Yeah. Oh shit. So long story short, feed your guests, water your guests. I like how you said that. And if you're gonna go to actually, you know what? If you're going to California, don't even go to Disney. Where should the people go, Large, if they're going out to California?
I'm glad you asked. So I've been doing NASCAR with Spider for the past two years. I have yet to go to a road course. Everything that I've seen have been on some bastardized version of an oval, maybe the Tricky Triangle at Poconos or whatever. So my first road course is going to be this weekend, and it's going to be in Sonoma. It's going to be out in California at Sonoma Raceway. There are still tickets available. It's going off on Sunday. It's going to go off at 4:00 Eastern time. So what's that, 1:00 Pacific time? Yeah. So Saturday we have 3 different vineyards that we're going to go to. 3 different vineyards. We're staying at this, a very nice little hotel. It's myself. It's Captain Cons. It's Keeks. It's KC. So everybody's going to have some booze. But more importantly, it's the race. So we're going to be at the race. Going to be set up on like one of those, boxes where we can kind of still meet and greet people who are there having a good time. So if you've never seen a NASCAR race and you're anywhere near Northern California, get your ass to Sonoma Raceway. You can still get tickets for this NASCAR Cup Series race, or you can just tune in at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 on FS1. So NASCAR Cup Series, it's a road course. It's going to be fucking awesome, and we're all going out there. Me and Spider, Keeks, KC, Cons, tune in, show up. I'll drink with you. I'll watch with you. Whatever the hell you want to do. NASCAR. It's NASCAR-rific.
That's beautiful, baby. Again, pop open a bottle of nice wine. Tweet at tweet or Instagram us at Podfathers Show. You drinking some nice Chianti and watching some NASCAR on TV as is tradition.
Hold on, just 1 second, please. So no, we're not drinking any Chianti because we're in the United States. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be at a couple of things. By the way, I fucking love you, Clem. There's no doubt in my mind. So we're going to be, honest to God, if you guys are listening to this, we're going to be at Far Niente. Far Niente is one of the wineries. Trinchero is another winery. And then Donham Estate. So those are the 3 that we're going to be at on Saturday. And then again, at Race Sonoma is how you find them on social media. Go on there and check out Sonoma Raceway and how you can get tickets. And tune into FS1 at 4:00 on Sunday for a NASCAR Cup Series road course.
Yep, SonomaRaceway.com. You can get your tickets there. And then Sunday, June 12th, 4 p.m. Eastern time, FS1. And again, that's a great crew too. I love this crew. It's you, it's Spider.
By the way, Spider by far the biggest, if you want to use the word, not celebrity, but the most recognizable. It's unbelievable how I will walk through, which is not, I realize that I'm a Q-list celebrity. Cons, Keeks, KC, anybody that we bring. Spider, when you walk down the fucking pit row, the drivers all know him. It's unbelievable. He's huge with that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
He's awesome, man. So it's you, Spider, which again, in the dichotomy between you two different sizes is great. Then we got Keegs, who is the fucking wine connoisseur at Barstool for a long time running. Our girl Casey, who's awesome. And then Cons, that motherfucker. And listen, anyone wants to challenge Cons to some arm wrestling, because he infamously lost to Corey in the arm wrestling. Do that, get yourself some wine. What's a good wine to pair with NASCAR, Large? You tell me.
So Sonoma probably has maybe 50 different varietals that they grow out there, but it's kind of, top loaded into maybe 6 or 7 different grapes. So a Cabernet, the Cabernet Sauvignon, one of the most popular grapes, certainly in this country, if not the world, they do as good as anybody else. But one of them is the Syrah, which is my favorite grape in the world. So I'm going to be crushing Syrahs. Big, heavy reds. You hold it up, you can't see through the motherfucker. A big, heavy, earthy, chewy Syrah is what I'm going to be doing in the heat, watching it, eating cheese and drinking heavy red wine. And that's what I'm going to do. Purposely, I'm going to make my colon more packed than a bar in the village on a Saturday night. It's going to be a time. Tune in.
I sure hope you don't get delayed on your flight the next day.
Oh.
You are going to be hurting for certain, but you're going to be having the time of your life at NASCAR in Sonoma. I love it. They're bringing it to all these fun places.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up the week with one mailbag here. Again, our boy Josh, he sent it to the Podfathers show, the DMs. You can send it there. And it's kind of an art. Am I the asshole? We're one asshole in, so actually two puckered fucking assholes in Disney. Let's see if Josh can join them. I got am I the asshole for you? Am I the asshole for being excited? My son got sick and we had to cancel his 3rd birthday party. First off, he is fine. Low-grade fever, congestion with a runny nose. Of the 20 guests, 14 adults and 6 kids, only 3 are family and not local, and those 3 drive up to see him often, so the drive isn't a big issue. Next weekend, we are driving 5 hours to see more family to celebrate his birthday again, along with his cousin and uncle's birthday. My wife seems to think I'm not upset enough that the party today had to be canceled last minute. Thanks, guys. Love the show. I wish I could be your producer, but I wouldn't know where to start. Keep doing what you're doing because we love it. You got to love when the listeners are saying, I wish I could be your producer because we work at a little rinky-dink company that's not making any money, I guess, right? We have 3 fucking ads, you motherfuckers. Shout out Josh. Is Josh the asshole for being happy that his 3-year-old's party is canceled? And you just had the last birthday party at the Casa de Large, probably.
Yeah, he is resoundingly not an asshole. I can tell you right now, I have a good friend of mine, Peter Barsanti. Peter was the guy who had got me a job at ICAP. I made more money that calendar year than I ever did on any other year at Wall Street. I'll tell you that with 100% confidence. And for a while there, what Peter and I used to do is set up a dinner with each other, probably twice a year. So, okay, we're going to go Mastro's and we're going to do this, and it's going to be on June 17th. I'll set up the dinner. Peter's like, I'm going to be there. And then around June 10th, he'll call up and cancel. And then about a month later, he'll set up a dinner somewhere else, like, ridiculous. I'll be there. And about a week beforehand, I call and cancel. And just as long as we get to talk to each other, we get just as much joy out of canceling and not having to go out and do all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's only going to get better, like the cancellation type stuff. So if you get a legitimate cancellation where nobody's hurt like this, not only are you not an asshole, God loves you. Like, God, whoever the God is, whoever she is, she looked down on you and said, there it is, brother. You deserved a break, And so enjoy it. Don't feel guilty at all.
I'll tell you right now, out of that entire guest list, which again was 20 people, 14 adults and 6 kids, 14 people were happy at the very least. 14 adults were like, sweet, I don't have to drive my kid or drive myself over and eat, the same pizza, hot dog combination. The 6 kids, 3 of them might have been upset that they couldn't see their little guy. The other 3 probably didn't give a shit or probably forget the minute that you get them.
It's a 3rd birthday party. They have no clue.
And that's the most important thing. The son doesn't fucking know the difference.
Oh, absolutely not.
At this rate, that son probably hasn't had like a real birthday yet. If he's a COVID baby, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The last 2 years,
right? It's not going to affect him. And if you feel in the least bit, do something stupid, like rent a goat to come over and jump in the yard with him or something for a half hour, like something that he'll always remember, because the rest of the paper hat and ice cream cake stuff is going to blend after a while. You know what I mean? So maybe go out of your way and do something where you can get it over with in an hour. But no, this is those kids don't know. The parents are happy. They might even still send gifts because they have the gifts. Ooh, that's a goodie. Yeah, right, a little cheapskato. So this is I'm actually jealous that that didn't happen to me on Sunday.
Yeah, it's exactly the best thing about having kids. It's you're able to cancel plans whenever you don't want to have them, and when you have a legitimate excuse, it's even better. So you don't have to feel like a dick saying that your kid's sick even though they're not. Low grade fever and a congestion, that is the best case scenario. I'm actually kind of concerned about your wife not realizing this. Like, welcome to fucking parenthood, woman. Where have you been the last 3 years? What the fuck's going on here? So, so thanks again, Josh, for writing in. Thanks to everyone for listening. And thanks, Large, for joining me today, unlike the other guy who couldn't be here, who always just seems to vanish whenever things are convenient for him. So, as always out there, everyone stay safe, stay sane, and we will see you next week.